We are going to Legendary Wargames. We are going to buy a kit for Warhammer. Warhammer is like a tiny robot that you have to put it together and then you start playing board game with it. It's a lot of work to play board game. You need to go there that far on the other side of the city to buy a kit, and then you have to buy glue and then you have to put it together. Alright. Do I have to say all of that again?
Okay, Aaron, I know you're watching this video because I'm sending this to you. Aaron is a good friend of mine who has a Warhammer channel. Warhammer, if you don't know, is a little game that you play where you paint the little pieces, and I used to do that like 10 years ago, and I had this really vivid dream where I got Warhammer again. So after that dream, I'm going to buy a Warhammer kit, and I'm joined today with Mook, who's been in some of my other videos. Any video with you does really well, so showing people nerdy Warhammer stuff would just totally kill my channel. So I need to have you be the breath of fresh air.
Okay.
So it's watchable.
You have to say thank you to me.
Mook, what's this?
See you. I will see you. Mickey, this you. See you. I love it. Of course, I love Mickey. Legendary War Game. So cool. In the middle of nowhere.
Look at all this stuff, man. Okay, so look. Here are the different races. So these are the orcs. These are the Chaos Space Marines. So this is the one that I play. They look like Gundam.
I have to spend like 5 hours more to pick the set I like. He looks so creepy. I'm gonna be as creepy as him one day. I don't need to be a white man to come ready to be creepy. I just need to be like this.
We got the SCA, we got the HEMA here, we got medieval club here, people fighting in armor, and we got archery range where people shoot with bows.
I wanna go there.
So where are we? What is this? How can people find this?
This is Legendary War Game, and we have a project called Medieval Village, who also is the same place. I don't know how long you'll be in Thailand, but if you end up staying here for long, we also got the armor room, where you can leave your armies here. These are all customer armies, where they just leave their armies here, and they can come play whenever they want. Yeah, feel free to open and
This is so cool. I love this place already.
We have a really good
I'll try.
female Warhammer player here. Her name is Sister Val. Her army is over there on the left. She's the 5th in Thailand. 5th rank.
Whoa.
She's actually having a meeting in the other room, but when she's done, she'll be around here. She's a really good player. She can teach you how to play and paint. She's a great painter.
I didn't say anything.
No, you did. I heard you.
I said it's gonna be a little
I said,
bit too
Mook,
far.
come on, let's come here. It looks so wonderful. I bet they're so nice. And you said, they're not nice. I hate those people. I don't even know them.
No, I
and I
didn't
hate
say
them.
that. I didn't say that. You said that.
Mook, you should be nice to people.
I'll be nice to people by start hitting them. Thank you, Mr. Robot. I got Lisa Black. It's cool.
here.
I like this.
Some freebie.
Button. Thank you. Kapkun krab.
It's hard to open for the first time in forever.
So we're at the Warhammer store now. It's massive. It's filled with armies and all kinds of cool stuff. They even have an R2-D2 in the back and free food. How cool is that? Everyone here, super friendly. One of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video is about the idea that people are not bound by the land they live on anymore. And I want to tie that into crypto, and that's something that I'm going to talk about later. But first, I want to glue together my miniature and start working together. This is Mook's first time playing with Warhammer. And I always feel good bringing a girl into the Warhammer community. This clips on to this ear, and this clips on to this ear. Now you're ready.
This is actually a cool style. Do you know where else can it go? This one going to this side of nipple. And this nipple. I am so proud of myself. This is like the first one that I made. The first Warhammer. Is it cute or creepy?
You know what time it is?
Suck time.
What? No, I was gonna say lunchtime. No? Why?
It's a golden throne. I have to go check it now. You see that golden throne?
You're the queen of sh**.
Yes, you should try it. King of boot.
Here is a dojo for training and learn how to use sword. And I use this dojo for do my art.
Everyone online making fun of you. Better watch out.
I know Thai boxing. I'm gonna learn how to use swords. Could you do that to me
I'm abusing a Thai girl on video on the internet.
without my consent?
Are you ready to fight?
I will kick you in the ass to cut your neck. Be careful. People who make fun of me. Be careful.
I am in India with Mook. India.
Namaste.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Very
I
good.
appreciate it. Very good.
Very good. What did you think of that?
I think it is so good. People there, the staff there are so friendly. They were so helpful, and they're like wanting to show us around. Like, hey, you can do this, you can do that, and they so like volunteer to help. Super nice, and the customers there are so friendly. I love it. Thank you for taking me here.
So being at that Warhammer store reminded me of Joanne. Joanne was an architect, and she would commute from New Jersey into New York City every single day. The round trip commute was 3 hours. 3 hours of your day is completely wasted commuting. And then you're going into one of the most expensive cities in the world where your lunch is $10 to $15 for a tiny little nothing that's unhealthy. And frankly, that is the experience that most people are living, at least in the middle class in America. They're commuting, they're forced to buy cars, which depreciate in value, and that's just been the norm. And this idea of living in one place and having everything connected to the land that you're on has just been the staple of humanity since civilizations were first built. Your wealth was your property. You passed that down to generations. You bought a house. Your community were the people that were walking distance from your home. Your plants were grown there. Your livestock was raised there. Everything was connected to the land that we're on. Then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, one of the first things that occurred was people were working remotely. And COVID was the first time where this was even tested, where major companies, major corporations thought to themselves, hey, is it possible for workers to work from home and still get the same productivity? That is such an expensive experiment that no one in their right mind is going to implement it for their firm, especially a big firm like Twitter or Facebook. But COVID made that happen. Now, one of the side effects of that is because COVID has gone on so long and because people are looking and seeing that young workers are just as productive working from home as they are commuting into the office, and workers are so much more happy that a lot of companies are now making it permanent. Joanne's company at the time is Gensler, and Gensler is an architecture firm. So these are architects. These are traditional jobs, not new technology, not working at Facebook and Instagram and all these things, but traditional 9 to 5 everyday jobs are now working remotely. Now think about it from Joanne's perspective. Now she doesn't have to commute 3 hours. Joanne can live at home. She doesn't have to commute 3 hours a day. She has family in Hong Kong. She can fly to Hong Kong and just stay there with her family and work and get paid an American salary. She can fly to Thailand. She can go anywhere in the world she wants. She can work from home in her PJs instead of being in a stuffy, boring office that she has to commute hours to. She can eat healthy. She can work out. There's so many benefits to working from home. That working remotely was normally only reserved for people on the fringes of society, people that were freelancers, people that would get odd jobs, people that would travel, live the digital nomad life, and just kind of do whatever they could to make enough money to get by. But do you think Joanne or anyone like her would ever go back to commuting, to living in New York, to paying outrageous prices, to giving up the ability to travel the world, to giving up the ability to go live with her family in Hong Kong? And the answer to this is hell no. No one is going to give this up. Anyone that has tasted this new way of life, and guess what? All the companies that aren't remote, they're not going to be competitive. People that are going to get good jobs are not going to be getting jobs at places that aren't remote. And I really want to stress that this is so revolutionary. There has never been a time in human history, other than very few sparse societies that were nomadic or very early before we settled down and had agriculture, there has never been a time where people can just go, where you are not connected to the land. There's not an umbilical cord that you are interfacing into some crappy town in Southern California, living somewhere that you don't want to live because that's where you needed to get a job and that's the only place you could get a job. There are these steps in humanity, in society, where tragedy or chaos brings us to a new way, a new normal. And this is the new normal. When you can live on a beach, where you can earn a salary, which in New York, $60,000 a year is nothing. $80,000, $100,000 a year in New York is nothing. But in a place like Thailand, where that can buy you a wonderful, comfortable life. Now, one of the repercussions of this new way, where we're not tethered to the land, what happens to institutions like governments, which need you to be tethered to the land? Your taxes, you spending money, goes into your local community, goes into your local government. Well, if you're not in those local communities anymore, and most of the middle class wakes up, and we're not far away from that. Once COVID is over, once countries open up and you can travel again, there's just no reason to live where you're forced to live. You can live anywhere in the entire world. Your salary will mean something. If you're living in Indonesia and you're working as a marketing manager for some firm, maybe a movie theater chain, the money that you're earning is going to go into the Indonesian people, the local population. Money will be spread out. Countries and states that have bad politics, have bad policy, people are going to leave. We already see that in California. People are leaving the places where you wouldn't want to live to begin with. And I think this is all really great. Now, I don't know what the long-term effects of this are, but I think that this is a great example of why it's such an important time to get involved in cryptocurrency. The world is becoming flat. We have Warhammer stuff from England, which is now being played in rural, outside of Bangkok, middle of nowhere, Thailand. Everything is becoming flat. People can live where they want to live. You can choose to live in places which have the same value or value the same things that you do. You're no longer tethered to the land. And that is such a wonderful, mind-boggling thing. What's needed is a currency that's not tied to the land. USD is tied to the American government. And guess what's going to happen when middle-class people decide they don't want to live in America? They want to live overseas. They want to live where their money actually can get them a good quality of life. They want to live in countries where they're not persecuted and canceled for their political opinions. That middle class is gone. How is the American government going to keep up with the fact that Americans are diffusing their money into other societies? Well, the answer is very simple. Print money. Print more money. Print, print, print. Print as much money as you possibly can, just like we're already doing right now. And if your money is in USD, it's going to drop. It's already dropping. Crypto right now is so important because as you travel, you have a currency that's not tied, just like you're not tied to any specific location. You're going to have a currency that doesn't depreciate and drop off, that doesn't let people just pump out as much as they want, like the US government. Bitcoin has a set number. There's never going to be more. You can spend Bitcoin and live off Bitcoin in any country, more or less, in the world. Some, yes, are tougher than others. But the thing is, all of this is so new, and everything with COVID, all the things happening in the world are shifting right under your feet, and now is the time to get involved. For the first time in all of history, you have a chance to escape your bubble and to join communities that you can add to. You're not trapped in places that you don't want to be. Having the internet interconnected us, but COVID, with all of the negativity that came from it, it opened up and allowed something new. And at this point, there's just no going back. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Just a little rant, fun stuff, doing some Warhammer painting right now. Really nerdy, really geeky. But when I was at that store and I just saw how flat the world had become, with me living there, with people at home who have traditionally worked jobs that require you to be in one place, with the middle class being able to leave and work remotely, and how communities can shift and change and move, and all of this is being funneled into this idea of cryptocurrency, where your money is not tied to people who can make choices for you. The world is now a place where you can make your own choices, and you should exercise that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay positive, and I'll see you soon.